Welcome to Beyond the Stonks. We're your hosts, Zack and Bob. Say hello, Bob.
Hello?
All right.
Hello?
So, yeah, why don't we compare tariff sizes?
All right.
Okay. So, my tariffs are bigger than your tariffs.
No, I think my
How do you
tariffs are
feel?
bigger.
That's how you feel? They're just bigger?
Yeah, that's how I feel. That my tariffs are bigger. They're 100% bigger.
Well, then mine will be 200% bigger. How do
Mine
you
will
feel
be a
about that?
thousand percent.
Do you
Mine will
feel
be 1,000% bigger.
okay? Cool. We're at the negotiating table now.
Yeah.
Yeah, good, good. I guess it's not really new. I'm kind of late to the party on this, but as I'm perusing Reddit, I have discovered taco trading. And once I found out what the acronym actually means, I had to bring it up because I think everybody's sort of noticed the roller coaster ride the stock market's going through right now, where certain politicians in office will say something about foreign tax and market sentiment tends to change, resulting in prices possibly going lower or higher depending on what is said. So, taco trading means Trump always chickens out, meaning
Hmm.
Trump will say, I'm going to apply a tariff to X country or countries. A certain period of time will go by, and the price of said market that could potentially be impacted by tariffs goes down respectively, and it kind of makes sense if a tariff like that goes into play. It could cause prices to rise, and somebody somewhere probably could get impacted, like let's say Cambodia. I don't know. Probably wouldn't go well. I think some people are privy to this before there was a name to it. I didn't know they had a name for it, where it's clearly you might be able to do a buy the dip type strategy with this. I think a lot of people notice just because someone's saying something doesn't necessarily mean you should bail and completely change your strategy. Really odd to me that it has like this whole vibe to it now. There's a name for it. It's just weird. I don't know.
Taco, it makes me hungry thinking about
Yeah,
taco.
exactly. Yeah, I don't know. How do you feel about it? Like, would you? Because I mean, I've made a few stupid decisions based on what's being said on on the news. Not with insane amounts of money, but enough that probably shouldn't have. How do you feel about it? Do you see taco trading as something that you could actually profit from? I don't know. I personally,
I've never, this is the first time I've heard that. I have heard that they'll let stocks go up when Trump, backs down and so on. But for me, it seems very difficult because I'm never sure like when he's going to say something or how I should take it. So it's sort of really be hard to
yeah.
determine.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a few times where the market fluctuation has been pretty steep, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like I wouldn't day trade on it, and I definitely wouldn't
Yeah.
speculate lots on it. But I have seen the stocks, the stocks. I have seen the S&P 500 go down, and then in my normal investing flow, I just up the amount just a little bit when it goes down. Stupid, but it paid off. That might change. You never know. So.
Yeah.
But it's just
I
it's just
guess
it's interesting.
hypothetically I didn't care about risk. Maybe I would try to do something leveraged and try to respond to what Trump is doing, but that would seem very foolish.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's not. It's definitely not. I don't see it as a. I don't see it as a long term strategy or a sound strategy, really. Even
yeah.
unless you can
I
afford to
feel like
lose.
back in the day when I would trade crypto like years ago, I would be more likely to want to do risky stuff, but not now. No,
Yeah,
it's not worth it.
yeah.
Unless I can see proof that I can actually like verifiable evidence I can make money, but I find not sure how that would what sort of evidence that even would convince me.
Yeah. It also kind of highlights the. Have you heard of DJT, the Trump Media and Technology Group Corp stock that
No,
he
I have
has?
not.
You have not even
No.
heard about it? Yeah. So there's this. It's become a bit of a meme stock. I'm sure someone is offended by me saying that, but the fluctuation definitely represents some fun. I mean, the correlation between what he says and this stock is it just for
So
lack of
is it created? It was created by someone not associated with Trump. Is that correct?
no Trump Media and Technology Corp. Well, actually, I'm assuming
So it's not a stock that just follows him. It's like it's a company that he like owns or something.
Yeah, yeah. I thought it was just a company he owned.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Oh, so I see that the price just happens to fluctuate according to what he says, basically.
Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah, that's it. If I was going to try and trade based on what Trump is tweeting, I'm assuming things like tickers like DJT is where you would want to be. And I think I'll leave it there. It's this whole world of speculative investing that has a name, taco trading. It has like a name. It has like it's just interesting to me. I have not been privy to it until very recently. So kind of wanted to look at I haven't actually evaluated this stock really, and I know this is Yahoo Finance, so you're not really gonna get the best data probably. So, but just kind of want to take a look here. Yeah, I mean this is just fascinating. I don't know
hmm.
what people will.
I just wish somehow I still knew, could have bought Trump coin when he first
Oh,
announced it. But
dude, yeah, right. How do people learn about that kind of stuff? That's
I think a lot of it was just insider trading type stuff where Trump probably told them beforehand. A lot of the people who first got in, I don't. It would
yeah,
have been very difficult to.
to actually be a part of the in group that got to
Yeah.
do that.
Same with Milani coin.
Milani coin.
Yeah, that was his. Yeah, 'cause there was two different meme coins. There's Trump coin and there was Milani coin.
Oh,
And then the guy that created Milani, or the guy behind Milani coin, happened to be also behind the one with Libra, but the Libra that ended terribly, and everyone lost their money basically.
is it one of these Milani? Because I actually haven't heard of Milani.
Yeah. Thing is, there's several different. You might want to look it up on the internet because there's several different Milani and Trump coins, the same ticker, so you have to be careful. 'Cause I don't
Oh,
know.
okay, yeah. So the normal Solana, I'm not sure what the heck's going on. Meme
Yeah,
scam.
because
Yeah.
you can make clone of meme coins. There's many different Trump and Milani to find the. I don't quite remember. It probably had a website or something. I don't. Can't remember.
Ah, well, I'll just focus on the Trump coin or whatever. I don't know. That's crazy. The world of investing is just become insane, truly. But it is fun. Speaking of insane, there is this listing that I found. Well, technically, my friend found it and showed it to me. But a lot of states in the U.S. occasionally have land for like very huge quantities of land for sale. Sometimes it seems quite ludicrous for a relatively low price, and this it I'll just go ahead and show it on screen, I guess. But basically, it's 230,000 acres for $11.7 million. And I know $11.7 million is a lot, but if you divide that by 230,000 acres, that's really quite insane. That what from the average person looking at this is effectively buying your own country is what it feels like. And I believe on the map it's effectively, yeah, here. You're almost buying like your own island. Like look at this. Like you all the red. Like
Be like the island in Lost.
yeah, yeah. It has Jurassic Park vibes to me. Like what's the guy in Jurassic Park? The rich guy, I can't ever remember his name.
Which was the head of Jurassic Park?
Yeah, yeah, the guy
John
who
Hammond? Yeah, John
Yeah.
Hammond.
I feel like this is a John Hammond move right here.
Hmm.
Like someone's gonna buy this island. Typical rich person move. Buy an island, make genetic monsters. Okay, like they've had short
Hey,
stories about it.
if scientists ever like bring back mammoths and saber-toothed tigers, they just put them here.
That
It worked.
yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, Velociraptor. Well, not Velociraptors. I guess in the
This
movie.
is sort of a cold, icy area though. So it's kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
icy.
Well,
Hey,
maybe that
maybe
would
even
keep them
bring
contained better. I don't know.
yeah, maybe even bring Neanderthals back. Who knows?
Neanderthals. There you go.
Yeah, Neanderthals.
There you go. It's just insane to me. There's just something odd about just this quantity of land for sale for this price. Like this is evil genius supervillain territory stuff. Like it's got its own dock, and when I look at it, obviously it's just this big cow operation. It looks like,
Reminds me
but
of a Wild West where they would sell land very cheaply.
Yeah, like in really stupid large quantities. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's a little rainbow. Look at that. Like if I was a billionaire and I saw this, I would buy it just because I'm bored. You know,
Yeah.
that's what this is. That's what this is. It's like I own an island in Alaska. Fight me. Like I don't go there, never been there, I just own it.
You could just start your a cult too if you
Yeah,
wanted.
there you go. That was gonna
Like a
be
religious
yeah.
cult. Gather everyone, get people together and be like set up a group that's like dedicated that second coming of Christ is about to come. You guys need to follow these strict rules, otherwise you're going to hell. The world is doomed.
I mean, it has its own like mountain and a volcano on it too.
Oh, she's a
Like look at
volcano.
this. Like
Oh,
obviously it's not active, at least I don't think it is. But like look at that.
hope not.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's like a supervillain layer. It really is. Like, and I know that the boundary
It'd
looks
be
like you
Mount
don't
Doom.
own the volcano, I guess. But like, if you bought this much, if you had enough money to buy this land and you own this much land and you were a supervillain, you basically, I'd have an evil super layer in this volcano without a
Or all
doubt.
this,
Like, without a shadow of it, immediately. Like, that'd be the
right?
first goal.
You could declare yourself a Dark Lord and name the island Mordor.
Exactly, dude. Like, you think that the cartels in Mexico are scary? Evil Dark Lord cartel in Alaska in a volcano.
Yeah,
Okay.
in a volcano.
With an army of genetic monsters.
Hmm.
That's that's it. That's I think that's the play. That's how we're gonna get rich, Bob.
Hmm.
That's how we're gonna get rich. We're gonna become supervillains, own an island with a freaking volcano on it, and run a cow trade, a big cow trading operation, but have genetic monsters.
Or even just create a quote unquote utopia type society.
Yeah, you come to our utopia, you don't leave.
Right, right,
Yeah,
correct.
exactly. We put you in the volcano, and
So
anyone that
that'll
goes in the volcano doesn't come out.
be our communist utopia where if you leave, we shoot you.
Yeah, exactly. You're like halfway to Russia. What? Like
Yeah, because Alaska used to be a colony of Russia before they sold it to the US.
that's crazy. Would you occasionally see like a Russian military vessel just chill, just going by? I
I
feel like
know
it.
not too long ago, the Russians, they were threatening, claiming they were going to, I think it's probably bogus, claiming that they might invade Alaska and
They
blah,
might
blah,
invade
blah.
Alaska. You would be right on the front line. That's
Yeah.
why it's for sale so cheap. Is that you'd be right
Yeah.
on the front line. You'd be taking the brunt, dude. That Russia would just roll up on your door, be like, "We own this now. Get off."
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
oh
like
no.
some propagandists, Putin propagandists are claiming, oh, that that Alaska, we could reclaim Alaska, even though they sold it more than a century ago, a long time ago, even before the Russian Revolution. But whatever.
Yeah, that's got serious supervillain billionaire vibes for sure. I don't know. If I was a billionaire, I'd be a supervillain. Like, why not? You know.
Did anyone own this island beforehand?
Well,
Or
I
did
mean,
someone sell?
it looks like it. I mean, look, they have like a big
Yeah.
cow trade and a dock and
Huh.
a really large boat, like a really big boat.
How big is this island again?
Well, the portion that you can buy of land is 230,000 acres. So yeah,
Like in comparison, like what sort of like country would be that big on?
what is the smallest country by size? Not doing that conversion in my head. Are you insane? Okay, 109 acres is the smallest country. That okay. Uh, I mean that doesn't count. That's too small. Second.
Yeah, because technically, I think Rome is sort of like its own country now, or the not Rome, the Vatican. That would be very, very tiny. So
Oh, I can just go to this list countries by. So Vatican City's its own country. I didn't know
yeah,
that. That's bizarre.
yeah, it is. I think it
Uh,
was a deal that the church made with Mussolini during World War II, so that they that Mussolini would leave them alone. So
let's see. Yeah. So
and
it's big.
Mussolini,
Go ahead.
Oh, and Mussolini didn't want to upset all the Catholics in Italy, so that was why it
Ah.
became its own country.
Could you imagine? Like, I don't want to upset these people, so we're just gonna make it into a different era, I guess. Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. I guess it's bigger than a lot of different countries. Only 100 for real? Huh. I didn't know that some of these countries are this small. That's insane. Okay. Well, I don't. Okay, that data can't. It might. Yeah. Okay. So that was weird. I don't. That website was full of shit. I'm sitting here super confused. Like that makes no sense. So okay. So yeah, Singapore is like 185 thousand acres. So it is bigger than Singapore,
Mhm.
according to AI. Which now I'm skeptical that that's even telling the truth. So how big is Singapore? Yeah. Okay. I don't. What the heck were we looking at earlier? It was just like some BS numbers. But it is that's crazy. So you're basically buying a land mass several times, not times, several a lot larger than Singapore between Russia and Alaska. What do you think? Would you buy if you had $11 million? Would you do it, or would you
Probably. In reality, probably no.
even if what if you had $1 billion? Would you buy it just for spite? I mean, just because.
But I just don't, because I'd have to worry about managing all that land. Like,
I
it's
mean,
a
you,
lot of
you you
land.
really. I mean, you don't. It manage itself. You just can tell people you own an island, and you can
I
see
guess.
Russia with binoculars.
How in the world do you stop people from trespassing on the island? It's so big.
My assumption is you just can't, especially if the Russian military shows
Yeah.
up. I don't think there's really much you could do.
Yeah.
So, so speaking of real estate, though, where is the real estate market going nowadays?
So all I know is it seems so far that the housing market still seems to be slowing because I still have neighbors that it's been more than a year and they still haven't sold their house yet.
Yeah, let's go to Redfin, the super trustworthy source. All home types. So let's just do single family homes. 1.1% year over year growth. Jeez. The median price of a home in the United States is currently $456,000. So, just for perspective, from my understanding, the average person in the US doesn't even have enough money saved up for an emergency of like what, like $500, right? Isn't that the thing? Isn't that the thing? The survey 42 Americans. Okay. Nearly as many as 40% couldn't cover a $1,000 emergency expense with cash or savings, though 60% they had an unexpected expense pop up in the past year. Just for perspective, just some general data, which I don't, I again, like kind of like we were just looking at earlier. I'm not sure I trust this data, but just for a generalized figure that the average person in the U.S. doesn't really have that much liquid net worth. A lot of people have a large chunk of their net worth
Mm.
tied up in very assets, like a house that they're underwater on or something. Or they have a lot of school debt. Even if they have a lot of money in the bank or stocks, they still have a ton of school debt or house debt. So they basically have a negative net worth. Not
Uh,
you know. Uh, so for the average house price to be that high, and it looked like it was increasing, is relatively concerning to a lot of people, including myself. But you hear a lot of stuff in the news right now saying that the housing market is slowing. And I think the data is saying that inventory is going up and it's starting to, in some places, not everywhere, it's starting to shift more toward a seller's market, right? Isn't that effectively what you've been hearing too?
or you mean a buyer's market?
Or a buyer's market? Yeah. Yeah.
That's sort of how in my area how it is. Houses are just being put on the market, but no one's buying, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like it's this weird situation where the averages and median kind of tells one story, but then it's like depending on where it is that you live, it could vary. I mean, if you live in a place that's not in super high demand, you might be seeing insane housing price drops and your perspective may be skewed and it looks like the world's ending. But then in some places like somewhere where you know Bob and I live, Uh, there are houses literally across the street that are going for, $1.2 million, and they're selling like hotcakes. But then if you go over closer to where Bob lives and across the street, there are houses going for sale, for the 400 to 500K territory, where closer to where he lives, and they're not selling at all. Like they've been on the market for a year, 2 years. Right? It's insane like that. And of course, but that could be the seller's just really stubborn. I don't know. It seems like I keep getting very weird mixed views from people. I don't know if that has been anyone else's experience, but when you actually look at data, you get stuff like this where it's like it's definitely slowing down. It's not insane like the last few years have been. Clearly, it's a bit more flat, but I'm not seeing in when you go on some places on the news where they're saying it's going to crash. I'm not seeing that except in really specific places.
Yeah, not yet. It seems like maybe sellers are still holding up hope that people will eventually cave and that they'll buy. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I
A
think.
part of it, I
But
keep hoping that the prices will eventually decline, that sellers will be forced to lower their prices, but I don't know.
yeah, I mean, for people who don't own a house and aim to own a house, I'm sure that would be nice for them. But I'm sure there's a lot of people who do own a house that would be very unfortunate for. So it's this really weird double edged sword. It is very concerning to drive down the road and see houses that are just insanely large, and they're like, for example, I have a family member who works in construction, and they go to this neighborhood. This one's a little further away, but they go into this neighborhood to do remodeling on houses. And you've been here too before, Bob, but effectively, these houses are 10,000 square feet, you know, and the houses are worth anywhere from, $5 to $30 million a pop. And there are people on these roads that own two houses, and then it's insane. And they're remodeling their house, once every 2 years, and the cost of the remodel is more than the average amount of money that people will make in their lifetime. And they're just doing it like once every year to 2 years. They're just like completely gutting their house and remodeling it. And but then at the same time, you go just down the road a little further and it looks like a slum comparatively. It's
Mm.
just concerning. And then if you look at the prices in these lesser demand areas, yeah, there's huge price shifts comparatively. It's weird to me. I don't fully understand it clearly, but I'm getting mixed signals from when I go on any of these websites and look at actual data, which honestly, what you're seeing here on screen right now, I don't know if that's really 100% accurate data. I'm not sure, but it's just concerning to me. I don't know. I mean, do you think that the housing market's gonna finally go the other direction, or do you think it's just gonna flatline or just keep going up? Because
I really have no clue. Like, I just
yeah,
have my hopes that prices will decline, but I really don't know. But I
yeah,
guess fair if the economy's not doing well and people really don't have the money to buy houses, then it would seem that prices would eventually decline. But I don't really know.
yeah. I mean that's where I'm at too. I can't find any data or any information that's conclusive. Like, yes, we're going in this direction, but I see a lot of people making claims that it is on the news,
I
on
think maybe
YouTube,
was it
all the
Jeremy
time.
Graham? Remember, I think he did predict a housing decline, but he thought it would be temporary and that prices would then go back up. Remember,
Oh, okay,
like a year or two ago.
gotcha. I mean, it makes sense. It does appear to be slowing. I can't argue with that. It's not You're not getting that insane growth year over year like you were, at least at the moment. So, but back on the topic of investing, specifically politicians and investing, their ability to see trades and execute them what appears to be very quickly and very successfully at a very high level of competence is relatively concerning. I'll just show some data on the screen. And again, apparently I've chosen all of the worst sites possible to just reference data as we're going through here. And maybe this isn't 100% accurate, but I've seen on a couple different websites very similar results here where they are effectively purchasing and selling a lot of the same stocks over and over and over again in the millions of dollars. And we have our lovely mascot here, Nancy Pelosi. Is this? I hear a lot of people in the news talking about whether this should even be allowed or not for politicians to do this. I mean, I think people should be allowed to invest their money. I mean, everybody's
I
got to.
agree. I think politicians should be allowed to trade.
Yeah, but should the people who are actually making the rules on the trading be the ones doing trading in the several hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars?
I feel like they should be allowed to trade the same way everyone else is. I don't think they should necessarily be. So I don't think they should be allowed to do insider trading of that. I don't think should be okay.
Yeah, yeah. And so I think the main concern is really that if you are the one making the laws, and I'm not really, I don't have any evidence of them doing it or not, but
Right.
the very high success rate of some of the politicians in office compared to the overall market is so insane that it makes one wonder if they are insider trading. And
Yeah.
also the ones who control the laws and rules for the trading.
Unfortunately, it's like innocent until proven guilty. So unless there's definitive evidence to show that Nancy Pelosi's insider trading, you can't like prosecute her
Well, that's this.
without clear
It.
evidence.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same. I mean, you could make the same argument with almost anything, but it's like if you walk into a casino and the odds are stacked against you, you can't ever prove that there's not like a something going on in the background to make you lose on purpose. You can't necessarily prove it. You would never be able to prove it.
Well, I guess the only way to then prevent a chance of insider trading would be like what you said, to ban stock trading for Congress. But I don't really
Yeah.
agree with
Yeah, yeah. And I'm not arguing that they should or shouldn't. I'm just saying this is just a really hot topic right now
it.
where people are seeing this. They look at their own bank account and their own investing trades, and then they look at this and they go, "How is that even physically possible?" But
Yeah, because it's hard to
180.
know if either she or her husband is good investors or if there's insider trading. It's really hard to know.
Yeah, I mean, some of these people are making more money than Warren Buffett per trade. Well,
Hmm.
percentage wise, not literally, obviously, but I don't know. It's just insane. It's insane to me that they can make this much money. I don't know. I wish I could do it. And that basically brings us to the topic is copy trading. And
Hmm.
this is something I really want to try, but haven't had the balls to do it. And also, it seems like a lot of the services that I've seen that provide like real copy trading, like like an actual service, and I'm not having to manually do it, it eats into your profits pretty hard. So it's like, okay, I'll just manually do it. But there's when a lot of these people who trade at the level where they have to publicly announce how much they're trading, because I can't remember the exact amount, but there's like over a certain millions of dollars. You have to publicly publish how much money and what shares and how many shares you have to make that publicly available. And I believe that's an attempt to make it more difficult for people to insider trade. So, kind of tying that back to the argument before, it's like, I mean, I'm sure it's not just, oh, this person is making more money than the indexes, and that's not common. So their insider trading, just immediately coming to that conclusion is probably a bit extreme. So, but there's about a month-ish to 2 month delay before that data actually has to be public and when they actually make the trade. So if I was going to copy trade, there's this big lag between when you actually make the trade based on this person's trade, and then when you actually execute the trade basically and buy and sell.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
where it
it
sucks.
yeah, it's like almost it's very difficult. So uh
I guess with crypto though, you don't have that issue because you have the blockchain, so you can see when a trade's occurring.
yeah, yeah. And I wanted you to kind of dig into that here in a second because you're definitely more privy to the to attempting to find people's wallet legally, of course, like trying to
Yeah,
see people's wallet and their trades based on that
yeah,
wallet address, and then trying to
yeah.
make trades accordingly to that. But they typically throw up all these smoke screen techniques to try and hide it and whatnot. It's really actually quite fascinating.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, it's not that they hide it; it's more that it's typically not possible to copy trades because they use you as exit liquidity. Typically, it's really the
they use the people who are copy trading as exit. Okay,
yeah.
that's crazy.
Or they trade so fast that you're gonna like just buy at the top and sell it, or yeah, buy at the top and sell at the bottom. That's the problem because there's plenty of profitable wallets I found, but there's no way to like truly copy paste or not copy trade them realistically. Because the trade needs to this person needs to be trading intervals of at least more than a minute, and even then it's gonna be difficult with slippage.
Okay, so that's 30 days. So just to confirm, it looks like it's 30-ish days. The Stock Act explained from insider information prior to the yeah disclosure of stock trades. Members of Congress and other officials must publicly disclose any stock trades over $1,000 within 45
Oh
days. Oh, I thought it was in the millions. Huh. Okay.
boy, that would make being a politician tough if you want to invest.
Yeah. I mean, granted, it looks like they're not having that much trouble. Nancy Pelosi's making like 2 mil a week, so I don't
I
know.
wish I could make that much money a week.
I do too. I want to know where she's getting her feed of information to make these trades on. That would be nice. Ooh, yeah.
I mean,
And
it could easily be her husband has knowledge. Who knows?
I guess, but I mean, there's a lot of people who have way more knowledge than that and don't make that much money. That's just crazy. But anyway, it's just insane. Okay, so onto the crypto copy trading because I think the copy trading in the stock market basically you would just find some politician or somebody who's trading and has a really high success rate. I think there's like some guy in Oregon who's had like 130% return or something like that everyone's trying to copy trade right now. I don't remember his name. Maybe I'll add to the comments or something. But onto the crypto. And this
Okay.
is rather interesting to me where I'm on GMGN again from a previous episode, but the
Yeah, all
idea.
the
You go ahead.
so a lot of these people you probably couldn't actually copy trade, even though they're
Oh, just because they're done trading basically already,
no, because
or
they're trading so fast, like within seconds, that even if you had a bot copying them, you would be like buying at the top, as I said before, selling at the bottom. So I think you'd be losing money.
oh wow. So do you think that these people know for a fact that people are going to copy trade them? Like they've published their wallet in
Uh,
a manner where they know people and they're using them as exit liquidity, basically, like you said earlier.
in some cases, yes, they're. I think in some cases they like having copy traders because it helps them to actually make profit because they are taking the money from the copy traders, so to speak.
That's just
I
insane.
know some influencers will like people who like shill crypto do a similar thing where they shill say, "Oh, I aped into such and such," and they use that as exit liquidity for them to get out of their position.
Yeah. Let's like start from the top here. Could you because you had when you explained this to me the other day, it made a lot of sense. Explain trying to find these wallets, the services that try to provide tools and things to find these wallets that are trading well, and the attempt to try and copy trade these wallets. Like if you could
So one
yeah.
way, so like see that snipe new go down to there because I think you have to select a at the very bottom at the far left.
Type
Though
new.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, this because let's see if there's a token. Let's pick that one, for example, that randomly, the one that you see the there's if you can see there's a whole bunch of analytics. If you look down below, you'll see that like their holders, for example, and the like developer token. I'm trying to think. There's typically if you those are just transactions. If you go
Yeah.
back to right below where you see the traders liquidity token, over there is typically a section for top traders or something like that.
So traders right here,
Yeah, those traders is one.
and then
And you can
liquidity.
sort of look through that stuff. The problem is a lot of those people are insiders, like
Oh,
who are
that's a
behind the token.
okay.
Yeah, that's like for just an example of some places where I go trying to find wallets. But I'm never haven't been successful to date to find a wallet that I'm truly comfortable with the idea of copying because a lot of these are just insiders and you just lose money if you try to copy them.
Got so all of these wallets are associated with the same
I think so because it says
process.
there's a red circle that if you hover over it, I think it'll say that it's suspected
Suspected
inside.
insider. What? What? This is just so
Yeah.
wild to me.
So basically, meme coins. It's like blatant insider trading, price manipulation, scams. That's basically like out in the open.
Do you think
Like,
all of these wallets are, because we talked about this in a previous episode, do you think all of these wallets are attached to the same guy and he's using it to manipulate the price? Are we like
possibly because if
watching
you
a
look
rug pull?
over, I think because if you look over there, you see the
That's
holders. There are
crazy.
155 holders, but it says that there are 143 fresh wallets, which makes me think that a good number of those wallets are all fake. They've been all created by,
Well,
unfortunately.
well, wow.
Yeah. Because yeah, 99% of these tokens don't go anywhere and crash. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Huh. So somebody just lost money, I guess, somewhere, somehow.
yeah. I wish I could
What
know
the
which wallets were real and which weren't. Letting you go through the wallets, but I have no idea.
heck? And so basically it's like a scavenger hunt. You're looking for that one gem that isn't fast pumping
I
things with
guess something
artificial
like that.
insider trading wallets that you could actually copy trade. This token has low liquidity, trade carefully, so it's basically game over. Okay. Wow. So I think, yeah, we just watch a rug pull? That's crazy.
Probably.
Okay, I gotta be careful because sometimes the token pictures is just straight up porn. So like
The
what?
earlier
Go ahead.
on a YouTube channel called Pride Dev, she claimed that that one way to snipe tokens is to find a developer with high win rate of like migrating tokens.
Oh yeah.
And I think well, this was to show through Axiom Pro, but unfortunately, you need an email to like sign up for an account. But in Axiom Pro, she said to go to the Discover section and try to find tokens where, say, you find a developer, or say they've, for example, only launched 3 tokens, but all of them have migrated or something of that nature. That you could potentially copy trade like a launching of tokens from those wallets because developers that are successful only launch tokens say once a week or a couple times per month are more successful than say developers that they might have 40 or even 100 successful tokens that have migrated but they're launching thousands of coins.
Jeez. So so that migration process. 'Cause I think we talked about the migration process
Right.
early in a previous episode too. That's where you go into the trenches and then you actually look at
Right.
the
Right.
general
Yeah.
data
Right.
basically. And yeah, and so they're publishing coins and you can this is one of the few websites you said that you can go on and actually just view it live almost.
Yeah.
This is
We can view
actually
it live
cool.
on other websites. Is that you need an account. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Rolex and Axiom Pro.
Gotcha.
Really fair, maybe that one didn't rug pull. It's going back up.
Is it going back up?
So who knows? It's not, or maybe they rug pulled it and they're trying to push it back up again. I don't know.
That's
It's
crazy.
probably a scam. I can already tell it. It's probably a scam, but I don't know what
Well,
they're
I mean,
planning to do.
just based on the
Yeah,
bajillion
the
different,
data. Yeah.
yeah, the suspected insider and the fact that the price is changing so fast.
The
Weird.
thing with this, because I think based on looking at the contract address there, I can tell it's not a pumped out fund tokens. I don't know if how common honeypots are, because I think with pumped out fund tokens, you can't do a honeypot because the code is set to where it's like a fair launch thing, so where uh, those tokens start at a certain price, and you can't do a honeypot. Of course, you can still rug pull though, but with these tokens, I don't know like if I was to try to buy it, like if I would actually be able to sell it, what would happen. And I don't even know how many traders are real traders for these tokens. So it's like,
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like you would need to just be in a market that's not so scammy.
yeah.
Different, completely different world from what I'm used to. That's just crazy. Like I'm over here like I'm gonna copy trade Nancy Pelosi, and then it's like over here and
The thing is, even if they're not marketed as an insider, doesn't guarantee that they're not. Because I've tried clicking on tokens that aren't marked as insiders, but the trading activity is too suspicious. Like they're buying this token like every few seconds or a minute, which is sort of an indicator that it's
a
one
robot.
of the
Yeah,
yeah one of the bundle bot wallets. So I don't, even the ones that aren't marked with anything, I don't know if they're real people or if they're part of the scam. I don't know.
crazy. Ends this episode, folks. That's it for today. Thank you for watching the video. If you liked it, subscribe, like it, and stuff. Thanks, man.